So I'll just quickly give you an agenda about our program over here. Is like we will be discussing today, like what are the potential benefits of the program that you will be getting onto it. A quick demonstrations of some of the use cases that industry-wise that we are using over here, because it includes different details like what kind of a use cases we are working on, how we have developed the POCs, and even sometimes can include the ROI analysis for those informations over here. So talking first of all about the era of the artificial intelligence over here. So if we talk about the different types of artificial intelligence era, we are like into a very vast technology. Like post 2000, we are currently into very vast things wherein we are having the deep learning technologies we are using right now. It includes that it swims, can even games of turns. But now, post this times, we are using some of the things which is your natural language processing, your ideations around those data. And so we can make the sense of the data out of it. So using the OpenAI services or any kind of things we are having right now. So we have like the OpenAI, we have the Llama models. We are having different kinds of details over here. So there are different kinds of models that are available over here, which will be helping us as a humans over here. It is helping us to generate responses or any kind of details generate like human beings today. So specifically, our program focuses upon generative AI. So when I talk about the generative AI models, basically it covers up multiple aspects of it. Like over here, when we train the data, we can create some of the custom models which will be able to produce and some of the include some of the data. It includes your text and code as well. Like when I talk about, you must like already might be using Chat GPT over here. So this is the one of the examples of the natural language processing wherein we are working on this particular textual part of it. It will be now we have like must be using some of the co-pilot experiences over here. It can even help you in terms of writing the code or the algorithms as well. Like if you want to write any of the codes in terms of your Python kind of a thing or anything, this is again, it's possible enough. So we have the co-pilot, like we have the GitHub co-pilot over here. We have in the Visual Studio, we have now the co-pilots that are being introduced. So it's all a part of generative AI or Gen AI you can call, which is helping us out as a human being in terms of doing those things. Then we have the image and graphics that is available currently. So there is a DALI model in OpenAI, which is currently being used over here specifically to give your imagination a view. So in that DALI model, if you just provide in a prompt, it automatically generates and giving the responses. Not only that, it's even we have now something called as GPT-4 with vision. So in that GPT-4 with vision with over here, what we are having is it can easily be able to determine and analyze any of our images that are readily available. So it has the capability wherein it can be easily be able to analyze your images. Like take an example over here, if we can upload any kind of an image for any organization, like you can upload over here a kind of a road structure or any kind of a thing. The models that we are using currently right now are so much capable enough, it can even translate and give you those informations. Like it can analyze that there are 4 cars that are here, these are the colors of those cars and everything. So using even with the GPT-4 with vision, it can is easily able to determine. This is currently in preview for the Indian region, but you can see we are having some of the things. It can generate your video responses as well. Like depending upon your prompt, it can even generate a kind of a video. It will be helping you out in terms of viewing those. Speech and model is again, audio and speech is one of the things in the generative AI that world we are today seeing right now. And I will even be showcasing you one of the POCs that we have delivered and what are the potential use cases around those. So in that audio and speech as well, it can help us to give us the whole of the information that, okay, what kind of things, like the summarization of it. Even if you're using any kind of 2 hours or 3 hours of conversations, using the OpenAI models, it can help you do the summarization of it, give them a key insights based on those or any kind of thing. And it's irrespective of the language barrier as well. Sometimes currently what we are having is sometimes facing a challenge in terms of languages. So using the Azure AI languages, even we can sort out those kinds of problems which are we facing in terms of audio and even speech. The bot is right now we are developing or any kind of thing so much intelligent enough, it can be able to understand any of the things. Similarly, understanding of your 3D models and textures is also an important part of it. It can give you the derivations based on those. Now, what we call as the first thing over here is, as a first step over here, we have is a kind of a foundational models in AI system, which can be differently like predicting the analytics, the information and everything. So what is basically a foundation model over here is, under that foundation model, it can be any kind of a detail, whether it's a kind of a text, images or voice or any kind of a structured data that we're using. Using those foundation models, it can help you in determining those information over here. So it can be even your like the question answering, it can be doing the summarization, the coding aspect of it, generating some of the personalized contents for you, the automation or if any kind of thing. So in a Gen AI, using the foundation model, it's easily able to, and we are focusing upon that foundational model and then under this program as well, which will be for the customers, wherein they or every organization has, it has adopted or starting adopting AI, but they need some start over here to start their Azure journey or OpenAI journey into it. So this is wherein the foundational model is a first step over here in terms of this, the OpenAI journey, wherein they can start either with the text, images, voice, structured data, unstructured data, any kind of things. And using those, they can be even like the you can say question answering kind of a bot, a summarization in terms of a coding, like a co-pilot for the coding contents for marketing team. It can help in generation of the contents and so on. There are a lot more things that can be done using those foundations models over here. So it's how their difference between, like, what are the difference from between the traditional models and over here is. So Gen AI foundational models over here, it helps them over here. Like the traditional AI models, we have to train the data over here, like different types of data, like you can see over here. It's first of all on data sets, this is on images, these different types, and then tasks will be performed. But using the foundation models, it is basically, it has been self-supervised learning. Like over here in ML, we have supervised and unsupervised learning over here. So in foundational model, we have a self-supervised learning that it works on a broader scale. So it can be basically, what we have to do is use the fine tuning of it to provide an in-context task or replication. So as you can see, if we have a multiple of data source, which is basically a pre-trained, it can help those foundation models to basically give you a prompts over here. And accordingly, in order to tailor to meet your needs over here, it will be can be fine-tuned and it can give you the response based on those. It will be giving you all those kind of details over here. And when I specifically talk about OpenAI and Azure OpenAI, it's like OpenAI currently uses the data that is publicly available, like the data that is available on the web or any kind of detail. But when I talk about the Azure OpenAI, it's a basically an enterprise level of module. So wherein if you're working for our customers, we ensure that as Azure and Microsoft ensure that your data does not go outside of it, your premises or over here, and the model has been trained within your own details as well. So that's when when we talk about like what's the major difference between an OpenAI and Azure OpenAI is. In a real world, this is wherein the things comes over here. So we make sure that something which is called as the principles of a responsible AI, the Microsoft follows them, and even when creating those models, we follow up those kind of an information, and under it will be giving you this information. Now I have talked about quickly about what is basically the OpenAI world and everything. Now I'll talk in details around the OpenAI or masterclass program over here. But in the meantime, if you have any questions or inquiries, please write in the chat. I'll take care of it at the end of the things, or any one of our teammates will be answering those. So in case you have any of the questions, please write down on the chat window. We will be replying you over the same. Now, coming back to the masterclass program over here is, so the main motive of this masterclass program is to start the customer journey over here. When I talk about like the initial phase of this starting to the full scale adoption, when we talk about, we are doing the whole concept of it. So we are not just giving our customers only the workshop kind of a thing that, okay, this is what you can do, what can be done. The main thing over here is a kind of a tailor-made POC or a proof of concept for them, which can further be enhanced. So first of all, we help our customers to understand the OpenAI, what is Azure OpenAI, what are the implications of it, what kind of solutions that are available, give them a guidance around these the what kind of different use cases that can be adopted. Based on those, we give some of the we create a tailor-made POC for them, which will be helping them out in terms of deployment, like how they can have a look and feel of those OpenAI solutions. Then it will be helping you out in terms of the future deployments as well. Now, coming on to this, there are different kinds of phases that we are adopting in this program. Which start off first off with the self-service over here. So initially, when we start off, we have a self-service assessment that we usually share, which helps them in understanding the evaluation. Like, okay, where are you currently? So we give a scoring to them that okay, how much score you are having right now. Based on that self-service assessment over here, we deliver a kind of a workshop to them. So in that workshop, we basically focus upon what is like the Azure OpenAI, what are the key things, what they can adopt as a potential use cases. So in that workshop time frame, we basically talk about what are the key deliverables, what are the key use cases, what will be the impact on their organizations. Because organizations are looking for different kinds of an impact, whether it's a financial implication, their operational efficiency, their ROI will be reduced, and so on. So we talk about in that workshop what will be the key impact based on those. Based on that POC, that use case that we're deriving, we create a proof of concept for them. So we take around 2 to 4 weeks of time over here to create a POC for them that, okay, how this they are going to get the benefit around those part of it. What are the POC that will look like based upon those? So the customer can have a complete look and feel like, okay, how I'm getting the responses over here and everything. So even though we hand it over to our customers wherein they can see that, okay, these are the changes that I want, like the fine tuning the models accordingly, it can be done in that POC phase. Once it's all done over here, then we move on to the readiness engagement part of it. In the readiness engagement, we basically talk about that, okay, POC, we have showcased you into our own environment. Now let's talk about and replicate the same at a larger portion of it with your own data. Like sometimes the customer says, I want to use my own APIs, how will my data will look like? Then how would I clean up my data and everything? So for that over here, we do the readiness engagement wherein we basically give them the whole the plan. We check out the whole data, what kind of data they're using, what kind of connectors can be used. If they want to use any of the Azure services to use the data deliverables, any kind of thing. Based on those, we move on to this pilot wherein we move the same part of it into their own subscription, which means the pilot phase basically deploying the same kind of thing in their customer environment. So Crayon or Unified Cloud as a partner over here can do the whole part of it. It can do the whole pilot information under it. Now, quickly giving an overview, what kind of things do we usually cover up in a discovery workshop? So when I say different kinds of a discovery workshop over here, it's a kind of like 2 hours or it can extend to a 2 days of workshop as well, where we talk about the use of generative AI, the OpenAI inspiration sessions, which will be that how it can be used, what is the use of approach, how tokens can be utilized over here, it will be giving you. And then we talk about the use cases. Like what are the different, if the customer is from a retail sector, they are from the healthcare domain, they are from a banking domain or any kind of thing, what are the potential use cases they can adopt? What is the key impact based on those? So the main objective of that particular sessions would be a workshop would be doing up, and it will be giving you the whole concept of it. The next thing over here, once we have finalized the whole you can say workshop, we have determined identified one of the potential use cases, because customers might be having multiple use cases in mind. So we stick with one of the use cases and then we move on to that selected use case, a proof of concept. That let's show you how things works in an OpenAI world. So in that case, we will be designing up the POC, which will be tailor-made solution. And not talking about the same, we use the customer data itself only, but should be non-PIN anonymized format over here. So it's not like that it will be based on the data that is available over the web or something. We can use the customer data. We call them as a sample data because it should be non-PII and it should be anonymized format, like no PI information currently we would be requiring or any kind of detail, because we want to showcase you the results and complete details. Once we deploy the same into your environment, you can use your own data, nothing will go out and everything, it will be done. But when we are showcasing you the proof of concept, the type of data that we would be requesting is a non-PI anonymized data. It can be their own data. Like what customers are currently doing over here is if they have something, they replace the terminologies over here with different, with like sample, control, so any kind of details they usually do. They hide their numbers, they mask out that information and everything. So that's the kind of data that we initially require for the proof of concept, and it will be giving you the solutions based on those. So we will be creating up the solution according to it. Then comes your AI readiness engagement. We are done with the POC and everything. Then we hand over the same, all the things, the complete model to the customer for a period of around 2 weeks of time frame, wherein they can leverage like, okay, what is required over here, to details and everything. Based on those, we basically do the readiness engagement. The customer says, okay, it's good for us. Now I want to move to a next stage. Then in the readiness engagement, we check upon their actual data, how their actual data is residing, where they are storing, if they are on-premise, they are in Azure or any other cloud vendor they are using, any the data over here. So we check upon those data, and accordingly it will be giving you those informations over here that this is something that will be done over here. Based on those, it's basically when we talk about the last phase, when we talk about moving the same into the customer environment. So we have the what is the main use of moving from a POC to the pilot? The advantage would be because we have replicated like over and removed all the duplicacy work as well as all the outliers, like the fine tuning of the model, the feedback and everything. So we have already done, we have clarified the evening. So it will be reducing all the efforts over here for moving to the customer environment. That's why we always say first conduct of POC over here, like fine tune the model based on your feedback and everything. And then we are moving into our own. It will be reducing the efforts, even from the developers end or from any kind of details, even from the ROI perspective as well, because we are fine tuning the models and everything. Then we are replicating the same. Then we start consuming over here, deploy the same. So this is why we say move from a pilot POC to pilot phase, where it can be showcasing you. We have removed all the kinds of extra effort that is required over here, and then simply just moving the same environment into the customer. It can be then using, and they can move up to a scale. As in this, it's a first foundation model that can be even moved to a next level of the enterprise level, how they want to scale up, and accordingly the models that we are deploying with them, this basically can be scaled up easily over here. If I talk about different kinds of models that we are using over here, like when we say we have some of the solutions that we are working with different, and this is just an example, like the 6 different categories I will be showcasing you. And from that, we can derive around 60 or 70 odd use cases as well. So the first thing that we talk about is your unstructured data processing. So when we talk about unstructured data processing, what we are trying to do, solve the problems over here for different verticals is in terms of like the marketing team, sales team, or any kind of that can be used. So what we are doing is we can leverage the OpenAI services to extract the key informations or do the summarization based on those from unstructured data. The unstructured data could be of any kind of a format over here, like when we talk about the images, audios, any kind of a detail that we are having. It can help in extracting the key informations based on those. Like, okay, this is the summarization of it. If I want to get the key things, it can be able to help and give me those key informations based on those. The other starting point for organizations we are having currently under it is, it will be giving the HR system over here. Like, okay, the bots can streamline your most common onboarding queries over here. The current process the team over here is HR team is facing is sometimes the turnaround time. So the earlier way was they used to raise a ticket around any of the information. Then it takes around 48 hours to 36 hours over here to reply them back. And the human in the loop is the concept over here. But using the HR system enhancement, we can create some smart bots to basically automate on this process. Like, okay, if your employee has a query around onboarding part of it, that okay, what are the key things that I need to do as I have newly joined in this particular unit? What are the key trainings that I need to be done over here? Is if they want to check about the leave information, they want to know about any kind of an policies, procedure, any kind of an things, it can be helping you out. So that enhancement system can help you in terms of managing those things. If you have some kind of a specific program like buddy a program or any kind of a thing, it can even help you in terms of those. Then based on those, we have some of the third one. The category over here is a virtual agents and bots. This is again very commonly used case where we have provided them a tailor-made solutions over here. So those bots or virtual agents can help, like starting from offering the customer experience, like your external users. It can provide a system as well as for your internal teams to give them a resolutions, because this is the bot, like the earlier used way was it's used gives some of the frequently asked question it gives, or a human in at the back end is working on to and replying them answer. So now using the natural language processing and using the OpenAI solutions, it is intelligent enough to give you human-like responses over here. So it can give you like within seconds itself, it can give you some of the human-like responses. It can solve multiple of your problems under it as well currently. Now currently talking about the other part of it over here is the other three categories where we solve the different problems is contact center operations over here. So whenever we say improving the contact center operations, it can help you experience AI-driven enhancement. Like when I talk about the call summarizations or the sentiment analysis, what we basically ensure over here is like take an example, if we have a conversation between an agent and a customer. So it can be easily do the summarization of it, like even it's an hour call of conversations, it can do a quick summarization. What were the key insights from that conversations? What were the agent recommendations that it gives us? So it can help the overall efficiency of the contact center as well as the customer center. Like even the quality check process can be even be automated used on those. Earlier, the process was they take a sample of around 5 to 7% of the call audits. And then, but using the Azure OpenAI solutions, it can streamline those process and even like up to 100% of calls can be run, and we can take out the outliers or give the feedback to the agents. This is something that needs to be done. Sorry. Then based on those, we have the sentiment analysis tool. Basically in that sentiment analysis tool, the model can be trained on wide variety of data sets. Under that data sets, it can help you in giving you some of the actionable informations. So the organizations can adopt, it can do the customer experiences, the sentiment analysis based on those, and any kind of in public opinions, it can be done. So it will be helping the organizations in terms of understanding about the key products and services that they're offering over here. The sixth common use case specifically in terms of the manufacturing industry, or you can say the any kind of industry retail, is a personalized offer. So based on the data sets over here, the model can be trained, giving them a potential opportunity for cross-selling and upselling of products. So it can help them in understanding that, okay, what are the key things that we're having, leveraging the predictive analytics to present and provide them that, okay, this is the choices that the customer can make. And in terms of driving out some of the successful sales campaign, it can even help you in terms of those solutions and providing them this information. So in short, if I talk about, these are the 6 different categories over here that the organizations can adopt over here is, and even I will be showcasing you some of the examples of this that how you're getting the results and how you're getting, but these are the 6 different categories. But depending upon the customer requirements, we can even leverage it. We can tweak these solutions, and over here it will be helping them out that, okay, what are the key things that they want to determine, and accordingly we can get the build a POC based on those. Now, I'll quickly now jump over before I move forward, and let me show you how things work in an actual. That, okay, what kind of an POC, like I'll showcase you that how things are working. So when I talk about like the first one being the unstructured data, so how we are helping the healthcare industry in terms of those. So we have a scenario over here wherein we are working for a healthcare customer, wherein they want to do the summarization of the the clinical notes over here, like, because usually sometimes the clinical notes are even handwritten, they are computer written, but they might be in a very scattered format and everything. Different doctors have different way of writing those solutions. Everything will be like, some might write that okay, this is a plan, but sometimes it could be very in a very unstructured format. So what we are trying to solve this problem over here is, so we have built a solution for them. Basically, it can help you analyze the audio, images, or even the PDF files over here. It can analyze any kind of in detail and do the entity based on the extraction based on those. So let me just quickly give an example over here from this one. So let me just do the sample. Let me just upload this PDF document. So here we have a outpatient follow-up note wherein like it has multiple of the information, the examinations. It's a kind of a very unstructured format. So what it can do is it can even analyze and it can give you those information that, okay, this is something that I'm doing right now. And it will be analyzing and giving you the whole of this information. So it will do the extraction, do the summarization. It can do from an unstructured to a structured data processing can also be done based on those. So we are just processing it. It's in my lab environment, so might be taking a bit time, but it can accordingly be scaled up depending upon use. All right. So here we have this summarization of it. Like you can see over here, the document preview. So you can see this. We have done the summarization that, okay, that this patient came for a follow-up regarding the neck pain over here, revealed that there is no new allergies and was kind. So it has given me it's their current LVF is this, he is suffering from diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and this was, so it has given the summary based on those. Then it has derived the key entity extraction that, okay, what was the medical history around this was in, what was the test done. I can even like do those things. So I'll just click on this save. It will be done in a structured format over here. So you can see this, if it's a name and something is given, it will automatically be catching up. But you can see it has given me what was the medical history, what was the examinations over here, what were the tests that was conducted, what was the kind of aspirin. So over here, what we have done is we have mapped the complete diagnosis that, okay, this is something a kind of genesis. So it's over here, it will be giving you, it is having a kind of like a deficiency in calcium. Based on those, we have even given them an ICD code. So what happens in the healthcare is ICD is an international codes that can be used by different healthcare verticals. It helps them in giving them this information that, okay, this is something that needs to be taken care of and thing. Similar way, it's giving us the LVF score and everything. What was the plan? So what, in short, it has taken the whole of the unstructured data. It can then further be, it could be even your handwritten notes or any kind of a notes. It can help you analyze those details under it. And if you want to save those, I can export the whole file of it. It can be saved under those documents. So we are solving this problem over here in terms of this categorization and everything. And under it, it can be even from the any kind of details. Like if I talk about, it could be even your audio files or images as well. Like if I just want to upload any kind of an OPD audio as well, I can help you in an analyzation of this audio files as well. That there's a patient and the doctor summarizations. Because right now we are even working with the customers wherein they are working, because post-COVID, there's a lot of teleconsultations or doctor consultations are happening right now. So sometimes to do the summarizations or even write some of the notes, like take an example over here, you might have seen the situations wherein you have talked recently with a doctor over here. Then he gives you the prescription based on those. So using that OpenAI solution based on the conversations they are having, we can even create those medical notes based on those, that this was the conversations, these are the key things that have been diagnosed. It can be eventually be mapped that, okay, these are the plan that you need to follow up, and these are the medicines. Even if the doctor says use this, the OpenAI solutions can recognize this and create a whole summary of it and then share with that, okay, this is the whole concept. So next time if there's someone visit, they can even head the whole of the conversations based on those. So using that OpenAI, it is like revolutionizing the whole healthcare industries wherein the things wherein it can be evolved over here, it will be helping them out in terms of those. So we're just analyzing one of this that, okay, this is the patient that, okay, this is a conversation between a doctor and a patient wherein the customer has came experiencing some dizziness and stomach ache. It included like some stomach infection due to unhygienic food, and doctor agrees to for a follow-up advice and check them for avoid. So I'll do this analysis over here. So it says us that, okay, what was the medical history that has been unwell for past few days. It has automatically based on those conversations. What was the examination like over here? Like he asked them to apply some pressure and check for pains over here is the doctor did not mention about prescribing, like it has automatically mentioned. We have trained the model in such a way it is giving them that they have not specifically mentioned any of the medicines over here is. Then automatically the tool was intelligent enough to analyze that, okay, it's a stomach infection or it's a kind of a food poisoning over here, it will be giving you. So if they have been asked to take over here after 1 week come for a follow-up, it has been advised to avoid spicy and fried foods and avoid unhygienic places in the future. So you can see over here the complete thing that has been analyzed from even the summarization of it, that how it can be. So it could be any of the things. I'm just giving an example for healthcare. It can be a thing for any of the things, like over here if we are having a customer and agent conversations or any kind of things, it could be do the summarization, what did they offer and everything. It could be for salespeople, it can help them understanding the details that, okay, these are the key requirements that they have given and other things under it. Based on those, let me give an example over here for some of the advisors over here, like in a banking sector, when I talk about the natural language processing and virtual agents. So we have even helped one of our customers in a banking domain for giving them the virtual financial advisor. The person like over here, instead of visiting, it has done, it can help the financial advisor can help you. Like I'll give an prompt over here. I'm an 24-year, like let me just give you, I'm 24 years old. I just so I can give. So what it basically, like I have asked over here that I'm a 24 years old, can I take a loan and what documents require? So it will be giving you this information like, okay, if it is given, it's over here, it's giving me that I don't, can you specify what type of loan? Then I can say I'm asking for student loans over here. Then the person. So it's a kind of a bot that is giving us this information that, okay, conversational information that, okay, this is giving me this information or any kind of a details it can give you. So the model is trained in such a way it can give you this information under it. So I can ask any of that information, what documents could be required or any kind of a details it will be giving you. So we have trained this model in terms of those based on the citations and data that, okay, these are my data that we're having. This is the document that was uploaded. So this bot has been trained in such a way it will be giving you. Like if I ask them what documents are required, that, okay, it's your the KYC form, your NIC details and everything. So it can give you this information based on those. Similar way, suggest some. So it can give me senior citizen account types as well. That, okay, these are my senior citizen account types that could be used. It can help them in understanding those. So over here, what we are trying to say is it can give you a personalized experiences under which it can be giving you the whole of this. And this again trained on their own data. Nothing comes over the web. It's specific to that particular bank. It is giving you this information over here. So the some types of senior citizen account could be like these are the two types of account. What are the details it offers them, special interests and everything. So this kind of in financial advisors can help the organizations in terms of revolutionizing the things, and it will be giving you this information under as a part of it. Now, if I talk about the other kind of things, when we talk about like we have the contact center optimizations over here is or any kind of details. So here is an example of the contact center optimizations that it can help you understanding this. That okay, let me just like. So it's a conversations over here, like it's a between an agent and a customer, wherein I'm trying to solve this problem. So what will happen under this? It will give them us a complete summarization that what has happened between a banking customer and the bank representative. That okay, what was the key advised, what are the key phrases that were used of it, what was the agent suggestions based on those. So using this OpenAI solution, it can give that okay, this is a conversation between Liam and Sophia, wherein we have done that okay, this is something that requested to check to request for a checkbook for his account. So it has been request has been played and it will be arrived in 7 to that okay, keep it in a secure place. So first of all, it gave us the sentiment that, okay, if it's a positive or a negative thing, it went them. Now, what was the agent suggested over here? Now it is automatically giving them that it greeted the customer that he wants to understand the checkbook. First of all, they asked for some verification details over here is then the confirming the request over here, the delivery time and everything provided. So it is even giving you what were the suggestions in terms of queue, what was the summarizations part of it. So using those Azure OpenAI solutions, it can help the revolutionizing those things. The call summarizations or any kind of a key insight that we're getting, it can even help them in giving those informations. Similar way, if we say it could be a personalized offer, like I want to talk about some kind of a personalized offer over here is, so here we refer to a personalized offer. So it's a kind of a dashboard which can help them over here in understanding the details. Like, okay, if we have different kinds of customer over here, this is a particular like a doctor over here. It can give them that, okay, you are eligible for an health insurance. So it can, that personalized offer can give them that, okay, you can enjoy this, the kind of an health offer over here. It could be done. You are using currently a type of gold card, credit card, you are using the insurance type, what was the recent transfer and the history done based on those, how much is there the for customers to churn over here is to account score that they are getting, KYC scores, the financial information over here, it can give you. So it, in short, if I talk about, it can give them a kind of an limitations. What are the opportunities for upselling and cross selling of the products? So this is wherein the personalized offer can help them in terms of guiding them, giving them multiple informations. Then we have the other kind of details, like if it can be worked even in the retail sector over here, in the manufacturing over here, it could be. Similarly, if I talk about the HR bots and anything, so even the bots, HR bot industry, how it can be done, like for an onboarding over here is like give me some information on Buddy program. So the model has been trained as on based on their own documents. So it will be giving them this information upon the different industry that, okay, this is what is this buddy program, how to assign a buddy, how to give them this information. So this is specifically trained on their own data. It can give them the whole of the informations based on those that, okay, this is my buddy program, how can I assign those? So I can ask multiple information. So it has given me over here, it is an integral part of the organizations which can help them. It designed to integrate new employees and everything. And also we have given this model in such a way that based on their questions, it will be giving them the citations as well as the next thing that, okay, what is this program? What are the qualifications? What is the, so I can even go and check for these kind of details. So it automatically gives them next question suggestions as well that, okay, what are the next things that they can be asked. And for each of the models over here, we are even providing them the models. Like this is just the information about the qualifications over here about this buddy. So what we are even offering them out is a kind of an admin module. Under that admin module, we have a process of fine tuning of that model that, okay, this is something that fine tuning the models over here is, it will be giving them this information that, okay, these are the username that we are having the models at okay, thumbs up and thumbs down. Accordingly, if it is thumbs down, the model can be retrained over here. That okay, this is the response was inaccurate. Let's retrain the model and giving them. If it's correct, then we can validate over here. So under that fine tuning process, it can be validated those process. Then if you want to add any of the documents currently, like we have stored in a blob, like take an example, there's a new update or any kind of thing, then it can even help you in terms of validation of those things. Similar way, we even have those information like the process that okay, the find over here that how many tokens are getting consumed over here is like in OpenAI, the main thing is around tokens. So we help them understand of those tokens as well, that how much is the response time was, how much the tokens that were utilized, the prompt token as well as the completion token. It gives us this information that okay, like for my last question that I asked, what the qualifications, this was the time, like it took 4 seconds, this was the completion, this was the prompt token that was over here. So we are giving them the in the module wherein the process of whole prompt engineering grounding happens, and it gives you the whole of the information based on those. So this is an example of like how we are developing and giving the POCs. All these things are tailor-made. It can be done based on the customer requirements, and depending, it can be modified. They have some other use cases in mind. It can also be taken into consideration, and accordingly, we can build up proof of concept for them and eventually move the same into the customer environment. Now I'll quickly talk about like what are the qualifications over here. Like when we talk about what basically, I'll quickly give you an overview around those part of it. That okay, the main thing is commitment, that how they are committed. Your customers are committed in terms of those. What are the potential benefits that they would be getting from that use case it will be giving us. What is the availability of like the first of all is the data, that all the data, we call them as sample data, but it's the actual data, but it should be without PII or any sensitive information, should be in anonymized format over here that is required for them to build up POC based on those. Who are the targeted audience over here? Like if you're arranging a customer with this, so initially it will be some of the C-level executives so that their vision and support is required in terms of discovery workshop over here. Key business decision makers so that we determine one of the potential use cases so that it meets the business objective and outcomes over here is some of the key IT decision makers that it will be helping us the POC development. Over here, the data scientist, like from the technical development and any kind of information, it can give you those from the data scientists are required. This is a quick overview of the model that we're currently using. So this is the model wherein like we talk about when we search, perform a search over here is it goes to an Azure OpenAI model. It goes when we perform the whole concept of grounding or prompt engineering happens, which goes to this embedding model. And then we perform the Azure AI search. And this is whole thing called as the RAG pattern, basically, that we implement the RAG over here. And then it gives you this information that, okay, AI search will then do different kind of searches, give you a personalized response and everything. And then we get a response over here. And these all responses that we're getting can either and later on can be embedded like as an API. It can be integrated into their own, like in their website or any kind of a location in social media, any kind of things can be done. So this integration can be done at an application as an API services. It can be used and it can give you those informations. Now, I'll quickly talk about some of the potential use cases and what the advantages the organizations had over here. So I showed you around the healthcare one. So we did the same in the Azure, in the APAC region for the Asia market, wherein we extracted the key clinical notes. Like, okay, I showed you those clinical notes extraction. So over here, what are the things that they will be getting? So it has used some of the, like the categorize them, the information over here. They have then the sorting of the critical health, like how many of the current patients that they have analyzed, how many of them are low risk, medium risk, and the critical risk. Based on that clinical note, they are easily able to do the categorization of it. They are easily be able to extract that unstructured data into a structured format is being done under it. Then it has optimizing their patient care management, that okay, how I can optimize over here is. So it has resulted them on multiple things, which has basically from terms, first of all, is the cost savings. The data management has been improved a lot. The patient care, like the resolution time over here has reduced. drastically, because now their solution has automatically been able to determine the customer satisfaction has increased over here. So the customers are now basically the patients have increased over here in terms of the offerings over here, the satisfaction rate over here is done, and they're scalable to them onto it. So this is for in healthcare one. Similar way, we have done a use case for a construction company as well, wherein in that case they were currently using a third party solution for their alongside like the quality management process, around to the legal policies, HR, etc. So what we propose a solution to them, it can helping them the onboarding process. So it is a kind of an AI powered bot which help them their internal employees for getting the responses, users information and everything, which has reduced the HR personal workload by automating the daily responses over here is, and eventually it has resulted in the efficiency, the experience, the data insights, or the scalability that we're giving. It has resulted them the whole of this informations. The banking that I showed the example for you, for that banking we have specifically targeted the complete customer personal banking section, wherein all the documents over here we have embedded over here. It's gonna give them a 24/7 round the clock support over here, giving them a response time of the responses in an accurate manner. The satisfaction rate has increased for the customers over here is, it's giving them the cost savings. Like instead of an agent sitting behind or the banking person giving them the information, the bot has given them now the information based on them. Similarly, I showed you the contact center over here. The contact center, we have done the summarization of it, like, okay, from the speech to text or text to speech, any kind of conversations we are doing over here. So it gives them the insights, which has helped them in enhancing the productivity, the performance of those agents over here is the proactive resolutions of this call. Like they are now using them as a kind of what are the common queries they are getting. They are sometimes trying to even automate the responses. What are the key areas wherein their agents are currently struggling? So organization is now using those same details over here to existingly train this model. So in short, if I talk about these, the organizations are using the different kinds of details as well. The other use case for the personalized, like you can say the personalized offer over here, or you can say it would be the communication. They want a bot to compare the service plans as well. So when I talk about the service plans, like we in India, we are having different kinds of service provider. We have the Airtel, Jio, anything. So what we have helped them for that particular customer in Asia to help them automate the tariff plans. So what is the difference between the different types of tariff plans they're having? What are the pricing, the features over here that they're getting? So it gives them based on the requirement, it gives them that, okay, this is a tariff plan that should be used over here. This is something that you're getting advantages on top of any of the solution. If you have questions, you can even ask. But meantime, I'll just quickly showcase you that, okay, for the subscription, the CSP model, you can utilize the 12 months of Azure subscription via Unified Cloud India, which is basically a CSP offering. It offers you around 8% of flat discount, giving them a welcome bonus of up to $1,000, cybersecurity management portal, which is managed by Unified Cloud. It will be a cost management portal for a 3-month subscription. All the AI tools that you would be getting, you can get all those things. And up to like, it will be costing you around 45,000 per month for managed services. It can go. So you can build up solutions based on those, or from the Unified Cloud CSP offering. It can be done, and it will be, you can utilize those things. Now I'll take a pause over here and just want to check if there is any questions or any queries you want to ask. And in case you have any queries related to this information, like, okay, what is I want to have, you can reach out to our channel partner manager Pradeep, who's based out of Bangalore. You can reach out to him anytime around the queries around what details you want and everything. For CSP, you can reach out to our Unified Cloud CSP, who is Venkat, who is currently working on to those solutions. You can reach out to CSP Venkat at unifiedcloud.in. So they are the primary contacts over here, which will be really helping them out.